Hello, this is Dr. Bob and Debbie DeMaria with a half hour of health for you. And tonight we are going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about different foods and how they impact your body. You know, so many times people say, Dr. Bob, why do you always talk about food so much for? Well, you know, I practice clinically as a chiropractor. I have a degree in spinal engineering and I have a Doctor of Natural Health degree. What I was blessed to learn back in the 1980s, before some of you were even born, is that food can cause the vertebra in your spine to literally go out of alignment or subluxate. I was having all these patients come into my office and they're having left neck and mid-back pain. I said, Lord, what is going on? And I remember as the day is on me right now. I was just driving along. And the answer was, it was the food that people were eating. So I went back to an embryology class that I took in 1994. Actually, it was in 1974. And it was an embryology class when I was getting my degree. And there was in the embryology book how the body started to develop. And the very first system to start is the nervous system. And that's encased in bone, and that becomes the vertebral column, and then all the other organs and tissues start. Well, I learned that the pancreas embryologically starts up in your left neck and mid-back region, and it moves. It literally rotates, and it moves to right here where we know where it's at today, in the pancreas. And so I can tell you, when somebody comes in our office and we take spinal x-rays of them, we can see a pattern of people who eat foods that irritate or antagonize or overload the pancreas. And some of those foods are on the table right now, and some of them we don't have because they're dairy products or anything with sugar. So, the first item I just want you just to be aware of is that this is a pineapple. I am not saying that any of these foods are bad foods. They're not. God did not make any bad foods. But we know, because so many people have a passionate addiction for sweet foods that compromise and overload and burden the pancreas, that the pancreas literally is sending electrical messages up to that left neck and mid-back and saying, hey, what's going on here? So you could have mid-back pain because of pineapple, and right above, so on women, right about where your bra strap is at, you could have mid-back pain for the pineapple, and right above that, we see white potatoes cause pain. Probably some of the most significant information we've ever learned, isn't it, Deb?
Well, you know, it's very interesting because the effect of what food has on you. And one of the things that all of us need to do is eat. We have to give the correct fuel into our body for optimal function. And you know, as Dr. Bob said, there's no bad food on this table, but you have to find out what the correct food is for you, because food affects everyone differently. But there are some rules to food that we suggest everyone to follow. And the first part of that I would suggest is, let's start with Dr. Bob's ABCs. And Dr. Bob, you are the best at saying this, so it's not that I don't want to interject here, but I really want you to talk about these particular foods which you want to eat every day, and then we'll go into some of the other things.
Okay, well, how many of you right now want to lower your cholesterol 50%? Whoo, hands are going up across the world right now. Of course, you want to lower your cholesterol 50% without medication. How about if I told you there was one food that you could eat that you would lower your cholesterol 40%? Would you do it? Of course you would do it. Well, in my Doctor of Natural Health studies, this is what I learned. This apple right here, half a red apple, has the potential to lower your cholesterol up to 13%. 13%. That's awesome. The apple itself has minerals in it, has malic acid, thins the bile. Very good. Half a red apple every day. We don't promote green apples because I took a class in Indian or Ayurvedic medicine for my Doctor of Natural Health degree, and see, curry or Asian Indian recipes help promote digestion. So this green apple tends to stagnate digestion. So you really don't want to eat it. And actually, as a matter of fact, your transit time, that means the time that you eat food at this end and it goes out the other end, should be 24 hours or less. The average American transit time is 96 hours. This is what I call a beet. Now really it's a plum, but I don't have a beet right now. It's okay. This is a beet. If you eat approximately 15 grams of beet fiber on a regular, consistent basis, you could lower your cholesterol 40%. That is ginormous. So between this apple and this beet, you have the potential to lower your cholesterol 53%. Statistically, from watching the media, that's even better than the average statin drug, which, by the way, one of the side effects of a statin drug is this pretend oil filter is your liver. Statin drugs, the #1 bad effect, liver challenges. That's why they tell you to have your liver enzymes tested, because it might be lowering your cholesterol. It's causing a lot of other challenges, including optic stroke, glaucoma, Parkinson's, shakes, erectile dysfunction, and muscle pain. The side effect from eating beets, red bowel movements. Now, this liver happens to be the storehouse for vitamins A, D, E, and K. Carrots, as we all know, vitamin A. Actually, they're a precursor for vitamin A. And as a FYI, BTW, by the way, carrots are a natural source of fluoride for your teeth. We don't promote tap water. Actually, some of the cities in Florida right now are banning fluoride in water because it causes other challenges. Going back to the subject at hand, though, carrots are for your eye. Do you have little floaters in front of your eyes? They're called vitreous floaters. Little floaters in front of your eyes are a body signal to me that your liver's compromised. If your liver's compromised, you have little floaters in front of your eyes, which you should always be checked by your prescribing healthcare provider. See your ophthalmologist, your optometrist, to make sure you don't have any other pathology. But what we have found statistically and very easily, Debbie, it's just increasing your carrots. And we eat some of these foods raw, we eat some of these foods baked, we eat some of these foods steamed. You don't, listen to me, I want to get this, you don't eat the same way all the time. You rotate how you cook food. Raw, steamed, baked, sauteed. Always rotating.
Dr. Bob, one of the items that I want to bring up, because this is just so important, is people are always looking to what they have been taught by their family members. And a lot of times, especially women, they talk about having potassium. Make sure you get enough potassium. And yes, potassium is important, but sometimes the way we get potassium is not the way everybody should get potassium. For example, a banana. Many women eat bananas every day for their potassium, but they don't realize that bananas could also cause in them left neck and shoulder blade pain. And this is something that you could do by eliminating bananas and then watch to see if that pain, that gnawing pain that you have had actually goes away. Well, there is a item out there. This is a vegetable. It's a cucumber. And you can get potassium from eating cucumbers. It's a better choice. This might affect your spine in a not good way. This would have no effect on your spine. Dr. Bob, do you want to add anything there?
I think that's really awesome. I know we don't have an avocado right now, but this looks like an avocado. Avocados are also a great source of potassium, and avocados, by the way, are also a great source of fiber and an amino acid for your brain called carnitine. These are the very best fruits that you should eat. These are actually the only fruits that you should eat. It's pears, plums, and apples. You know, I've read so many books all the time, and I read one book that it was called Adrenal Fatigue. It's a great book. These foods will antagonize the adrenal gland the least amount. I primarily eat a half an apple every day. Here's a new twist for you. You could try this. This pear, you could slice this pear and put it on your salad. It adds a little bit different essence to what's going on. Pears, plums, and apples. I want you to know that during the summertime, during the month of June, strawberries are very popular, very seasonal, can cause left neck and mid-back pain. During the month of July, it's cherries. during the month of August, it's peaches. Now, I am not telling you not to eat peaches, but what I've learned from my experience, and I'm just trying to help everybody out there right now, July, cherries, June, strawberries, August, peaches, and then in the fall, you could literally have distress because of tomatoes. So those are common fruits that can create issues and pain. Because see, you are what you eat. One man's passion is another man's poison. Let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. These are some very basic foods, not all of which are going to help take away pain.
And some cause pain in us, and that's why we have to find out what's the best for us. Dr. Bob, one of the items that people love to eat, and because they feel it brings them vitamin C, is oranges. And not that oranges are bad for you, but think about where oranges are grown. Oranges are grown more in the tropical environment or places where there is definitely higher humidity. You can tend to think of California, Southern California, Florida, and even the tropics. Well, guess why they are there? Because when you eat an orange, you take those segments and bite into them, they help bring your body temperature down. And this is a very natural effect of what you would want when you live in the tropics. But do you want to really eat vitamin C from a citrus source in the wintertime in, for example, Northern Ohio, Canada, wherever it might be? Because guess what it does? It brings your temperature down, and we certainly don't want to do that in the wintertime.
And something else interesting about citrus is that citrus can put compromise to your adrenal gland, and we've actually seen individuals have chronic lung problems because of citrus. And any lady that's 35 or 40 years old and older, you could actually have fibromyalgia because of citrus. And our colon therapist has instructed me that when the temperature is 60 degrees or less, pretty much what Debbie just said, what happens is that citrus actually could become mucus in your intestine. A better source, what we have found, for citrus year-round, or for vitamin C year-round, happens to be the red, yellow, or orange bell pepper. Now, how do we prepare our food? Well, I can tell you that I eat my apples raw. I will steam carrots, we'll saute carrots, we'll grill carrots. I bake the beets. We eat the beets raw and baked also. So we put beets on our salad. I just encourage you to go to the internet, go to youtube.com, type in my name, Dr. Bob DeMaria. You can watch the segments that we have on food. You can also go there and type in Dr. Anthony and Dr. Kaysen DeMaria. We have so much information. We're going to take a short break, and Dr. Anthony and Kaysen will be right back, and they're going to talk about a particular group of foods right now that's very intriguing. It's been a huge epiphany for me, right? We just learned this information. It could be the difference between your pain staying or going away. Call a friend. I promise you, you'll be glad you did.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Half Hour to Health with Dr. Anthony and Dr. Kaysen DeMaria. Tonight we're going to be talking to you a little bit more about what Dr. Bob and Debbie were talking about earlier, foods, and we're going to reveal some information to you about a particular group of foods. But I wanted to have Dr. Kaysen share with you guys out there a little bit about what we're passionate about, and that's chiropractic. I know that Dr. Bob mentioned going to our Facebook page, which would be North Coast Chiropractic, or following us on Twitter at DruglessDRS or DruglessDoctor to get cutting edge information that we're always posting on our websites. It's always a great interaction to have our patients and fans give us questions and ask us about what's going on. But I'm going to have Dr. Kaysen tell us a little bit about why we're passionate about chiropractic, and then we'll get into the foods.
I think the reason we're so passionate about chiropractic is because we want everyone to be able to heal themselves and express their full potential in their lives. And we know that working in the office and just by going to school and all of the research that structure determines function. You might ask, structure? Well, you see everyone's posture these days. You see them hunching over in the grocery store. Even little kids today, they have as Dr. Bob was talking about, Techno-Neck, playing the video games and going forward, and that has detrimental effects on your spine and your nervous system. So we're really passionate about, just by correcting those specific subluxations in the spine, your nerves are able to flow freely and your body actually can heal itself, versus going to get medications or aspirin or ibuprofen to cover up the symptoms. We get in there and we correct those subluxations so that your body can heal itself.
I think one of the things that's really fascinating, Dr. Bob mentioned it, is what we call viscerosomatic subluxation. So you say, viscerosomatic what? Well, it's essentially the foods that you eat and how they interact with your organs have the potential to shift your spine out of position. So we're going to talk about a group of plants that are known to cause mid-back pain. And I think that that's pretty exciting. So you're going to say, we've kept you with bated breath for long enough, let's talk about it. It is the nightshade family. So things that are nightshades are going to be your red peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, all of those, including the spicy peppers and paprika, and all of those substances are the nightshade family. And the nightshade family can cause inflammation. So if you have relenting mid-back pain that never goes away, give up tomatoes, give up salsa, give up ketchup, give up those tomato-based and pepper-based products that Americans are so often consuming, and see if it relieves your chronic pain. There was some research done on all of this nightshade, and it's been really fascinating, Dr. Kaysen, is the more research we hear about nightshades in the tomatoes and potatoes, is that even back in the 1700s in New Hampshire, they talked about potatoes and how people that ate white potatoes back in the 1700s didn't live as long, and they talked about that. I think that that's very fascinating.
I know also, just reading all that research, sweet potatoes and yams are not considered a nightshade, but white potatoes are a nightshade.
Yes.
So it's just interesting to see what different kinds of things are considered nightshades.
That's exactly right. So it's educating yourself about what really is a nightshade and what's going to be causing the problems. You know that in the same research we were looking at things that can combat nightshade problems, and you're going to say, well, what are they? They are vitamin K. So things that have high sources of vitamin K are going to be your grass-fed meats and pasture-fed butter. You say pasture-fed butter? Well, I know that we talked briefly about where we shop before in a class that we did at the office. Do you want to tell people about how easy it is to get good organic vegetables for a low price?
I know a lot of people tell us, well, I think that eating healthy or eating organic is really expensive, but that's not really the truth. When we've been doing our research, it's really easy to shop local. I know we go to the West Side Market often, farmers markets. Also, you can find affordable things at Costco, Trader Joe's, Earth Fare. You just really have to do your diligence in looking at what's on sale and what you can get available at those places, but you just have to look.
I think it's really important to educate our audience on organic. I think sometimes people, when they hear organic, they're automatically assume, well, it's a little bit more expensive than the other stuff that we see when we're in the grocery store. And it's more expensive because it is not sprayed with pesticides, and that's the most important thing about organic, is it is not sprayed with pesticides. And I'm going to say it one more time, it is not sprayed with pesticides. That's so vitally important because all of those chemicals that they put on conventional food interfere with body function. So you can say, well, how do I know if it's organic or conventional? We talk about it when you go to the grocery store. There's a little sticker on there. If it begins with the number 4, it's a conventional. If it begins with the number 8, it's genetically modified. And if it begins with the number 9, it's organic. And those are the foods that you want to be looking into when you go to the store. And I know that we had briefly talked about before we were on the show, I wanted you to talk a little bit about coconut water and why that is so beneficial.
Coconut water is a new way, I think, that's more coming out. Instead of getting the Gatorade or the sports drinks that have all of the additives, I know we talked about the dyes and the chemical preservatives. Coconut water is natural, and it's from a nut. It also has potassium in it, more potassium than people think that have a banana. So more potassium than a banana. Also has sodium, chloride, and zinc. And people don't realize that besides just the summertime, you are dehydrated. So you want to make sure that you're hydrated at all times, especially in the summertime or after endurance or athletic training. Through perspiration, you can lose a lot of electrolytes, and you want to make sure that you replenish your body with those electrolytes. Plain water will not replenish your electrolytes. So you can get coconut water really affordably at any of the grocery stores today. But I know that it's a great thing for muscle cramps and rehydration.
I think it's really important too, what Dr. Kaysen said, is it is a really awesome source of potassium. It has 15 times higher potassium than a banana. And why do you think that we're banging on the banana? Well, the banana is going to cause that left neck and mid back pain that we talk about, that viscerosomatic subluxation where the body shifts according to the foods that you eat. I think it's so important to educate yourself about the foods that you're putting in your body. I know one of the foods that we've really worked on consuming better, and I know we're always talking about the right fats that you want to put in your body, but we have made a conscious effort in the last several months to increase the amount of kale that we're consuming on a regular basis. And why don't you give us some of the great things about kale, because the more I learn about it, it is like, this is the superfood.
They are saying that kale is the new beef. Yes, I just said that. Kale is the new beef. And the reason they're saying that is because kale is anti-inflammatory. It has omega-3s in it, which you want to up your omega-3s and decrease your omega-6s. It has fiber. It gives you energy. It's easier to grow kale versus one cow takes up to 18 to 24 months to.
Yeah, so the more that we find out about kale, it's really awesome. I want, if you could share the recipe that we use for kale chips. This is a really great alternative to potato chips. If you have children at home, or even you yourself that's addicted to potato chips, this recipe could save your life because it has all the healthy, nutritious aspects of kale, but it gives you the crunch that you desire.
Kale chips are really easy to make. All you need are 2 cookie trays, and you just peel off the kale, sprinkle it on the sheet, sprinkle a little olive oil, bake it in the oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes, and then we just shuffle it around a little bit after halfway through, and then you take them out and you spread Celtic sea salt on them. But they're crunchy, salty, and they're healthy for you.
One of the things that's interesting about the kale chips is, and you might be thinking, well, could I make spinach chips or can I make lettuce chips? Well, you can't do it with lettuce and spinach because lettuce and